Oh my. Pierce Brosnan, of course a former James Bond and of course Irish actor. He has said that, you know, the mantle should be handed on to a woman, and he thinks that it's time that that happened. So I definitely have quite a bit to say this evening, so let's just go ahead and get this video started. So just before I get into this video, I want to say that I am a huge James Bond fan. And I also want to say that I'm not just going to be discussing, you know, the whole, you know, what Pierce Brosnan said. I am also going to be covering the actress, talking about the actress Gillian Anderson, who posted up a fan-made poster of her as what she referred to as Jane Bond. But we will get to that. I'm first of all going to talk about the whole Pierce Brosnan thing. Now, my favourite James Bond is Sean Connery. I have already spoke about this in a past video, so some of you might already know that. And I love Sean Connery, which is why I chose to put him in my thumbnail. But to me, first and foremost, before I read out everything that, you know, Pierce had to say, I honestly believe that no one else should play James Bond than a man. Because, quite simply put, James Bond has and always will be a man. The creator, Ian Fleming, who created the character of James Bond, didn't just make him, you know, male just for the sake of it. He made the character a man for a reason. All of these beside me, this is my collection of James Bond. And this, what do you see? Do you see any female? Do you see any women? No. For many and many years, it has been men. So, that ends that conversation. But, this is what Pierce had to say. And it's been all over the internet today. You know, I'm sure you have seen it. It's splashed literally everywhere, all over the World Wide Web. So, he said, I think we've watched the guys do it for the last 40 years. 40 years. Get out of the way, guys, and put a woman up there. Do you know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest, Pierce. You have probably annoyed quite a lot of fans, and I don't think that was a good idea what you said. Now, although Sean Connery is my favourite, you have always been up there as well with one of my favourites, you know, on the list of, you know, your favourite James Bonds sort of thing. You're very much up there, okay? But I am disappointed. And also, you are in my second, probably my second all-time favourite comedy film, Mrs. Doubtfire. But you've kind of shot yourself in the foot here, sort of thing, by doing this. Because, no. You've played James Bond, so you should literally be saying the opposite, okay? You know that it's been going about for 40 years, right? So you should be coming out and saying, look, you're wanting maybe a woman, you know, pass on the mantle to a woman. Personally, for me, you know, for 40 years, it's been a male. But, you know, whatever, each to their own. If that's what you want to say, Pierce, okay. You have disappointed me massively as a James Bond fan. Just sorry to tell you. Now, I want to talk about a show in the UK called Good Morning Britain. Now, it's not something I watch, but I have seen it on, you know, some mornings or whatever. But the interview, there's a presenter on it called Piers Morgan. Now, some of you might have heard of him. But sometimes I agree with him quite a lot of the time, and sometimes he does say silly things and I don't agree with him, but I agree with him on this occasion. I watched a YouTube video of him earlier on today on YouTube, and he was saying, you know, no, it should never be a woman. And they brought up, you know, like two, you know, edited pictures of the other two female presenters of them standing looking like James Bond or whatever, and they were like, oh, don't we look beautiful, you know, it kind of looked like that. And he said, I'll tell you why it would never work and why it's ridiculous, is because James Bond is a man, for starters. End of. And he's right, end of. That is the end of the freaking well conversation. And then he said, well, I'll tell you what then, to sort this situation out pretty much, I want to see a man in Wonder Woman's costume. And he's right, I want to see a freaking well dude in Wonder Woman's costume. Because to me, as a James Bond fan, that is how ridiculous, that is the equivalency of how ridiculous it is. I want to see a man in a female's costume. Do you know what I mean? Because, I mean, think about it. Wonder Woman has been a woman for years. I mean, it says it in the name. So could you imagine a man becoming Wonder Woman for the next Wonder Woman movie? And everybody be expecting to be okay about that? Wonder Woman fans. I don't freaking well think so, actually, no. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about was, as I was saying earlier, we'll move on to the whole Gillian Anderson thing, right? She had put up a picture on her Twitter of a fan-made poster of what she had referred to as Jane Bond. And this is the whole thing. And that's what the 2%er girls on the This Morning programme, or sorry, not This Morning, sorry, Good Morning Britain, was saying to that guy, Piers Morgan. You know, they were saying, but why not? What's so ridiculous about it? It could be a Jane Bond. We could have a Jane Bond. You could, but you freaking well shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, so she also referred to it, Gillian Anderson, as Jane Bond. And I'm sure you all know Gillian Anderson. You know, she was in the X-Files. You might know her from a show called The Fall, because I actually did play an extra for one of the episodes for that show, and I was standing about 4 to 5 feet away from Gillian Anderson. But her tweet read, and I'll bring up the picture of the fan-made poster of her as, I don't even want to say it because it doesn't exist, Jane Bond, right? It's Bond. Jane Bond. I don't even want to say it. Thanks for all the votes. Don't know what she's talking about there. And sorry, don't know who made the poster, but I love it. Hashtag next Bond. But, you know, I just want to say, can we not just nip the whole Jane Bond in the head? In the head. Can we not just nip the whole Jane Bond thing in the bud? Just stop it. There is no such thing as Jane Bond. I am sorry. I only know one Bond. And it's Bond. James Bond. A man, not a woman. So, you know, here's the thing, and I already said this in a past video when I was talking about the whole Shannon Lynch thing, right? That I don't have any issue if they were to just make a whole movie, right, with a female in it and call it, say, 009 or something, for example, right? But what I hate is, can you not just freaking well leave things be? And here I think is what the issue is. They can't pick an actor, right, who they want to play James Bond anymore. That's obviously clearly what their problem is. So they're thinking, well, okay, know what we'll do? We'll just change it to, we'll just change this whole thing to a freaking well female and hand the mantle over to a freaking well female. But here's my thing, right? Daniel Craig, who they kept getting to play James Bond, he's like a stone wall. He's dry. He's not a good James Bond. I am sorry. If you look through all the actors who have played James Bond, you think about it. Who's the worst? It really utterly is Daniel Craig. I'm not saying he is, it's so bad. But I mean, mate, it is kind of pretty bad, right? So when this next James Bond movie is done and dusted, right? Leave the franchise alone. Just let it die. Let it go dead. Completely dead, right? And leave it and let fans enjoy it, okay? And savour the flavour. Because there's no originality in the world anymore where movie and TV are concerned. Very little anyway, or lack thereof. So either think of something new, or, you know, if you want to do something along those lines, like I say, do a movie. Have a man in it and call it 009. Right? Just stop doing what you're doing. And I want to actually show photographs of my Loki, okay, aka Tom Hiddleston, right, okay? He is from where? He's from London, okay? What's James Bond? He's English, okay? So, this guy's a man as well, you know? Just saying. And also, he is an amazing amazing actor, right? And I suppose you could kind of say, you know, kind of in some ways, Loki's character could be like James Bond. Could he play well as James Bond? I think so, yes. I mean, look at how amazing he looks. They should have picked him many years ago, and I know people probably say, no, he's too old, but okay. But why didn't you just pick him years ago? Why didn't you just pick him years ago? But you were still okay to keep Daniel Craig, who was like a stone wall and was no good, in my opinion. So many people hated him playing that role. So, you know, I think they should have really listened to the fans there, and I think that's what the problem has been with that. But as well, you know, there is other people that I can think of off the top of my head. Jude Law even would be a good one. You know, he's English as well. I'm trying to think who else. Henry Cavill would be perfect. Now, I'm going to bring up a picture as well. Like, how amazing does that look? He was also in a movie called The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And that was directed, I think it was Guy Ritchie directed that movie. And that was a fantastic movie. I remember I went to see that in the cinema. And me and my boyfriend really, really enjoyed it. And yes, okay, you can say, oh, it's fair, I'd be very samey, you know, because he was in that movie and then having him as, you know, James Bond or whatever. But look at it. Look at this picture. It screams James Bond. And same with Tom Hiddleston. They really should have just picked either one or two of them, like, instead of Daniel Craig. But yes, okay, Henry Cavill, they've probably sat down and went to themselves, well, we can't have Henry Cavill because he's busy with The Witcher. He has other, you know, scheduling things going on. Whatever, okay, fair enough. But is there no one else out there? Is there no one else that you could give the opportunity? Hold open well auditions if you have to. But you don't need to just go, okay, we'll just make it a woman. Has to be, you know, has to be for the whole, you know, agenda shoving. And here's a really good point I want to get to. I actually was sent a video of a trailer. My boyfriend sent this to me on my phone the other day. I think it was, the other day. And it was a trailer, right? And instead of, you know how Brothers Grimm told, you know, a folklore story, tale, basically, of Hansel and Gretel. Well, because it's 2019, you know, we're switching the game up. Guess what it's called? It's not called Hansel and Gretel, the freaking well trailer. Lo and behold, you have already guessed it, they had to swap the names round. It's called Gretel and Hansel. I didn't watch the whole trailer, but I did watch about 90% of it, and it looked awful. You can watch it if you want. It looked awful. But no, it didn't look good. But you know what I mean? It's just because it's 2019 and things are just getting utterly ridiculous as the time goes on. It's just getting worse. And I am getting so sick to the back of my teeth off it. I really am. And it really is. It really is that bad. You can let me know what you think about this. I thought what Pierce Brosnan said was disappointing more than anything. Now, some people might say, have a different opinion on it, especially those who maybe aren't the biggest James Bond fans, or people who they're really not fussed, or they're just not a fan at all. They might take this in a completely different way, as in, wow, you know, he shouldn't be saying that because, you know, he's just wanting women to have roles and he's just wanting blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I'm mainly seeing it as in, I am disappointed as a James Bond fan that he had the guts to actually say that, and I think he's going to get quite a bit of backlash from it. I think it might die down quicker than most things, but at the same time, like really die-hard fans of James Bond, and especially of him, like that he is definitely a lot of people's favourites. I mean, a lot of people's favourites. Trust me, I know. So this isn't going to go down well for him. I don't think he should have said it. I think he just should have either kept his mouth shut or said very little. But if that's what he thinks, that's what he thinks at the end of the day. It could just be that he's just saying it because he's being told to say it, which is more than likely. Or he's just saying what he thinks people want to hear because it's 2019. So he can maybe get more work. I don't know, really. But I don't really care now at this stage. I just think that I'm a bit annoyed by it, but I'll get over it. But yeah, I'm just disappointed. You can all let me know what you think, you know, down in the comments. And I will see you all in my next video. And don't forget that every week I am still doing my Retro Fridays, where I pick, you know, like an old, you know, retro movie that I really enjoy and just sit and casually sort of talk about it. It's not like a movie review per se, it's just like me sitting chatting about the movie. And yeah, if you're free every Friday, you know, you're more welcome to come along and join the crazy, you know, ness. So until my next video, guys, I think I've talked way too much. What was it called? Yeah, I'm not tired, guys, sorry. May the force be with you always. I will talk to you soon, guys, and take care. Bye.